All right, everyone. So if you can't tell, we have a special guest with us today that we are super excited about.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
We're very excited to come and visit.
So in case you guys haven't seen her, we found out about Annabelle on Dr. Gundry's podcast. Which if you're not watching, you should. You always learn interesting things. And she was talking about this cookbook, and so I immediately went and ordered it, and we have fallen in love with it.
Dave and I are always looking for ways, because it can be tedious, and that was one thing that was thrilling about the recipes in your book is the fact that they're so simple and quick and easy to make.
The reason why I made the baking mix is I just wanted to come downstairs on Sunday morning and grab a baking mix and make, blueberry muffins or something really quick. And so that's why we have our baking mixes. And they do breads best, but on our website we have lots of other recipes that you can add a couple, do tweaks on them, and then we'll get all kinds of things from a double layer cake to pizza crust and tortillas and things like that.
Amazing.
Should we, let's make a recipe.
Sounds great.
We were trying to debate on which ones we were going to make, and I know you guys are all
It's a difficult choice.
Please make the cinnamon rolls, but then I realized I already actually made the cinnamon rolls from the book, and they turned out amazing, but it used all our cinnamon. So today we're going to do the rustic bread, right?
Yeah. Sounds
so we'll
good.
do the rustic bread.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what I'm going to be making tomorrow morning.
I know, we're going to go buy some cinnamon.
Somebody better get cinnamon, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
All right,
Okay.
so what do we do?
All right, so it's nice and easy. Everything's pre-measured. So we're going to start with a cup and 3 tablespoons of water.
Now,
Thank you.
I'm a stickler for measurements, and whenever I see a cup and something as specific as 3 tablespoons, I'm like, really?
Right. Actually, our new packaging is going to have grams for those of you that actually weigh your baked things, because I found that there is a big variation in measuring cups and spoons if they come from a different part of the world, or a lot of times it's a different measurement.
Interesting.
So yeah, it does make a difference. So
That's good
the
to
good
know.
bakers, they weigh everything. So
Perfect.
it's
So
helpful.
basically what she's saying is I'm right when I'm like,
Oh,
picky.
no.
I would never say that. Okay,
so
so-
it's super easy. Let's.
Okay, so far a cup and 3 tablespoons of water, and then a cup of egg whites, which you can get at your store. You can crack them if you want to. 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and good thing my husband's not watching, because he would want me to have a whisk and whisk this all up. But I found that it doesn't. I found that it doesn't really affect it if you don't. So there it is, the wet ingredients already, and then you add the mix, and you can use a whisk if you want to, but I am
Thank you.
A true baker.
I'm a true baker, and my hands are clean, so I like to use my hands, and I just kind of use it as sort of like Jim Carrey's claw in here.
I'm the claw.
Yes. But
That was a good movie.
it thickens up really quickly, which
Yes,
is why
it
I like to
does.
use my hands, because when you use a whisk, it just kind of sticks
it.
to the whisk quicker. And so I just mix it till it gets everything gets nice and wet. And then I let it set for a minute so that the fibers and that can absorb all the liquid, and it softens that way. And then
let me tell you this, I am super impressed in how quickly that's come together. Anyone who makes bread knows that's a miracle.
right, I know.
Bread, like normal wheat bread.
This is real bread.
That's right. The bread that makes you sick is the kind that you have to put in a mixer.
Forever.
And
Right,
knead
right.
forever
So
and ever.
tedious.
Yeah.
And this is why we named it Real Bread, is because our customers actually coined that for us, because we started out as California country gal, but when we'd go out and do our tastings and that, people would go, really, this tastes just like real bread. I was like, yeah, it does, huh?
It's real bread.
So anyway, so we've let it set for about a minute here, and it's really tightened up. And so what you want to do now is use your hands.
It really has the difference just from
Look at that.
when you initially started. That's
Yes.
incredible.
So this is important though. that when you actually, this is not really how you knead regular dough, bread dough. You put it on the counter and you use the heels of your hand and you fold it over. But the way we knead this grain-free bread is just kind of by squeezing it.
Squishing it through your fingers.
Squishing it.
And let's be honest, this is way more fun.
Yes, it is actually fun.
It
It
is.
is.
Jealous
And kids, my grandkids just love it. So they like to get their hands in it and squeeze it, and it's like Play-Doh.
I know you guys are watching this going, I want to get my hands.
So anyway, yeah, you just keep for like a minute and a half. I just kind of do this squeezing and kneading, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's starting to really tighten up.
Absolutely.
And it's getting sticky. And that's the psyllium in here that's acting sort of like gluten.
The binding agent. Gotcha.
And if you don't do the kneading, you won't get the rise in the bread.
Oh, okay.
So it'll
That may
still
have
taste
been
great.
When we made your recipe from the book, we definitely didn't need it.
You didn't need it, okay.
That's why it didn't raise as
Right. And I'm trying to remember if
Would you know when you have the author here?
It helps.
I don't know why you invited her really to educate us.
Well, I want you guys to be healthy and eat our bread. I've kneaded it for probably about a minute and a half, and you don't want to over knead it. So that's the other thing. It's not always, well, if a minute and a half it makes it rise.
10 minutes even
10 minutes,
better.
it's going to rise really good. That's not the case. So don't do that.
Good to know. Good to know.
So then, what I would do if you grab me that pan there.
Yep, that's very good.
Okay, and then we're doing the rustic loaf. If we were shaping it into to go in a pan, you just kind of do that, and you make sure, football it, and you make sure you use the right size pan.
Here.
Okay, so this is what we use at home, and you can buy it on our website, but also, if you want, you can just go straight to the baking aisle and get a disposable pan at your grocery store.
Oh.
And it's literally this size. So you can do that, and the sides help it rise. Otherwise, if it's if you use a meatloaf pan and it's a little wider, you just
don't get the rise.
You don't get the rise like you do here.
Okay.
Good to know. Perfect.
Okay, but this one, you can divide this in half and roll it out. It makes two really nice baguettes, like 10, 12 inches long. If you have a baguette pan, which I do, but you know how you make a soup bowl out of these? You can do that with it. It's really
Jan
fun.
loves soup bowls.
Oh, I love soup bowls.
There you go. So you just kind of shape it. I use a little water to smooth the outside.
Oh, that looks so pretty.
And it's fun. I mean, it's really like bread dough. And the best part is it smells like it when it's baking. And then if you want to, you can put different toppings on it. Here we have a little sesame seed here that might be nice and makes it pretty, dresses it up. And one last thing that you don't have to do, but I do, is I score it, and it just it makes a kind of a prettier,
absolutely.
and it helps it bake more even rather than rising on one side a little more than the other. So you just do like a little X, and you pop it in the oven for at 400 degrees for about an hour and 15 minutes. If it starts to get too brown, just throw a parchment paper or something over the top. But it is the almond flour browns, quite a bit, and so you want to make sure it's cooked through. So don't pull it out at an hour because it's getting brown. Just cover it.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
All right,
well, let's pop it in the oven.
Okay, so the bread is done.
And we've let it cool, which is important before cutting.
Annabelle had to leave, unfortunately, so she couldn't be here for the taste test.
I think she may know what it tastes like, though.
Right. So we're gonna go ahead and cut into it now, and then we'll give it a taste.
Sounds good.
Okay. It's the lightest and airiest bread that we've made. It's not so dense.
Definitely. It's more bread-like, traditional bread that everyone kind of grew up with.
Like you can make amazing. We're gonna make avocado toast tonight for sure.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, look at
for
before
sure.
I cut it. Look how big that is. I mean, easily put an egg on there and
avocado and amazing, absolutely amazing.
The other thing I like about it is it's super spongy. Like you can make the great sandwich bread.
Oh yes, and actually one of her mixes is called sandwich bread specifically, which is nice.
Exactly. So you could make sandwich bread with the same mix, or you can also make the rustic bread. And oh my
Lots
gosh,
of options.
not only that, but it was by far the easiest.
Oh, so easy
Super
to
easy.
make.
So,
Well, I'm excited to try
let's
the
try
bread.
it. See if it's as good as it feels.
It doesn't, the other breads that we've made, because they're so dense, they don't feel the same in your mouth. This feels
This is bread.
very much like real bread.
Like wheat bread. Yeah, definitely does. Like a homemade rustic wheat bread. Yeah. And it actually has a really good flavor. Like, I don't normally eat
Very
bread
good.
just by itself,
I do.
but I would just snack on this because it's just
It's so good
tasty.
and so convenient.
Yeah, super convenient. If you haven't checked out our recipe book, you should definitely check it out if you're looking for fun and really tasty ideas. Like you said in the
Very
beginning,
good recipes.
some of the recipes are not plant paradox compliant, so you just have to experiment or modify them with.
Look on her website. She does have some suggestions of different things you can do to change that.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. We hope you enjoyed this. It was something a little different we thought we would try because we're always looking for ways to bring you guys information that's helpful to make this diet easier. And
Definitely more convenience with the mixes and more ideas. Sometimes you kind of get in that rut trying to look for a different type of food, and oh, these recipes have been so good.
And so, if you like this sort of thing, tell us in the comments.
Let us know,
Give us
for
a like
sure.
on the video, and then we'll keep looking for other products and kind of reviewing them. And if we can, we'll bring other people in to kind of cook and hopefully find really tasty, yummy foods for you guys that will help make this lifestyle a lot easier for you.
For sure.
All right, thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks for your support.
See you next time.